Most people don't realize it until it's almost too late, but the real cost of retirement isn't just financial, it's emotional. It's that quiet, sinking feeling when you check your 401k and think, how is this all I've saved? It's watching the years fly by while your paycheck disappears just as fast as it came in. And it's the harsh truth that retirement isn't an age, it's a number. And the number doesn't care how hard you work, how much you love your job, or how good your intentions are. It only cares what you do now. So let me ask you something bold. What if you could build a retirement budget so early and so strategically that your future self wouldn't just thank you? They'd be in awe of how far ahead you were? What if, instead of hustling till you're 67, hoping Social Security will stretch far enough, you had options, freedom, power? Because here's the truth. The earlier you plan your retirement budget, the more every single dollar works for you. Not just in savings, but in peace of mind. And today, I'm going to show you exactly how to build that budget. Not with guesswork, not with penny-pinching guilt, but with a practical, purpose-driven system that turns your paycheck into a weapon. One that protects your future and unlocks your dreams. And if you stay with me till the end, I'll show you the exact mental shift, the 1% habit that separates those who retire on time from those who retire on their terms. Let's start here. Why do most Americans never truly retire? Because no one teaches us to budget for the finish line. We're told how to pay bills, how to avoid debt, maybe how to save a little. But no one shows us how to structure our money backwards, starting from the life we want, then working our way to the present. It's like trying to build a house without blueprints. So here's what I want you to do. Close your eyes. Seriously, just for a second. Now picture your ideal retirement. Where are you? What time do you wake up? Are you traveling the country in an RV? Are you sipping coffee in your own home by the beach in Florida? Are you spending slow mornings with your grandkids in Tennessee, or just gardening in peace in suburban Ohio? Whatever your vision is, that becomes your number. Because the budget isn't just about what you'll spend. It's about who you want to be and designing a plan to protect that person. Now let's get tactical. According to Fidelity, the average American at retirement age has just $228,900 saved, yet most experts estimate you'll need at least $1.1 million to retire comfortably. Let that sink in. That's not a little shortfall. That's financial freefall. But here's where the game changes. If you're in your 20s or 30s right now, you have time on your side. And if you're starting later, you've got urgency on your side. Both are powerful. Both can build wealth. Both can win. Let's build the framework. Your retirement budget starts with 4 questions. What do you want your retirement lifestyle to cost per year? What age do you realistically want to retire? Not what society says you. How much have you already saved? And how much are you willing to commit right now to get there faster? Let me give you an example. Say you want $60,000 per year in retirement. You plan to retire at 60 and live until 90. That's $60,000 times 30 years equals $1.8 million. Now, take away what Social Security may cover. Let's say $20,000 per year. That still leaves $40,000 per year times 30 years equals $1.2 million you'll need to generate yourself. Sounds huge? It is. But here's the magic. If you start in your early 30s and invest just $500 per month at an average 8% return, you'd have over $750,000 by age 60. Add a small employer match and a few annual increases, and you're right on track, possibly ahead. And if you're younger, even better. If you're 25 and start with just $300 per month, you could end up with nearly $1 million by 60. This is the power of early budgeting. Now, imagine trying to catch up in your late 50s. That's when panic sets in. That's when you start Googling how to retire with no savings. That's when regret creeps in, and the only option left is sacrifice. But you're not going to live in fear. Because today, we flip the script. Here's your first assignment. Build your future-back budget. Not forward, not monthly, backwards. Take your dream lifestyle, estimate your yearly cost, subtract Social Security, and multiply it by how long you plan to live. This gives you clarity. And clarity? That's how you make confident decisions today. Now let's plug in the system. The 50-30-20 rule is great for beginners. But for retirement-focused budgeting, I like the 60-20-20 framework. 60% of your income goes to essentials. 20% to your future, investments, retirement. 20% to enjoying life now, guilt-free spending. Because balance is sustainable, and sustainable wins every time. You don't need to strip your life of joy. You need structure, and structure is what gives you freedom later. But here's the kicker, and nobody talks about this. Your biggest asset is automation. Set your retirement contributions to auto-deduct. Schedule monthly check-ins. Use budgeting apps like YNAB or Empower to track progress. Make your system smarter than your emotions. Because we all get tempted, but when your plan runs itself, you protect yourself from yourself. Now, let's talk mindset. The average person in the US spends 4 times more time planning vacations than they do retirement. And yet, retirement is the longest vacation of your life. Yes, the longest vacation of your life is one you're probably not even planning for. Not the one to the Bahamas next summer. Not the cruise you've been putting off for someday. I'm talking about retirement. But here's the twist. Most people in the US are walking into it completely unprepared. And I get it. When you're grinding through bills, kids, student loans, inflation, maybe even a second job, retirement feels like something way off in the distance. Like a reward for surviving the chaos. But let me ask you something. Would you ever leave for a month-long trip with no hotel booked, no luggage packed, and no budget set aside? So why are we letting decades of our life arrive without a plan? The average American spends more time planning a 2-week vacation than they do thinking about retirement. Let that sink in. Now here's where it gets real. The average retirement lasts 18 to 25 years. For many, even longer. That's 8,000 to 10,000 days of your life. Unstructured, unfunded, and unless you prepare now, it may not feel like a vacation at all. It could feel like a financial prison, but it doesn't have to. You could design a retirement that's not just comfortable, but inspiring. Not survival mode, but dream mode. Because when you plan for it the right way, retirement becomes the part of your life where you actually start living on your terms. No clocking in, no boss, no chasing chicks, just freedom. And the way to get there starts with one powerful question. What kind of vacation do you want this to be? Is it the peaceful kind, where your mornings begin on the porch of a lakeside cabin in Oregon? Or maybe it's adventurous, hiking in Arizona, RVing across the US, or sipping espresso in a tiny cafe in Florence, Italy. Or maybe you just want the simple pleasure of being home, debt-free, never worrying whether you'll outlive your money. Whatever your dream looks like, there's one truth that never changes. You won't end up there by accident. It starts today, with intention, with a decision, and with a budget that reflects your future, not just your present. You wake up without an alarm. You stretch. You walk into your kitchen, pour yourself a cup of coffee, and there's no rush. No inbox full of fire drills. No derecho, just space, time, choice. What does that kind of peace cost? What is it worth to never again wonder if you'll have to go back to work at 70 just to pay for groceries in Alabama, or keep up with rising healthcare costs in New York? According to the U.S. Bureau of Labor Statistics, the average retiree spends $52,141 per year. That's over $1 million over 20 years. And yet, most Americans aged 55 to 64 have only $408,000 saved, at best. Many have less than $100,000. This isn't fear-mongering, it's reality. But here's the part that most people never hear. You can fix it, even if you're behind, even if you're starting late, even if you feel overwhelmed. Because it's not about having a huge salary. It's about using what you do have to build a system that works for you. And it starts with your vision. Right now, I want you to take 60 seconds, mentally or on paper, and describe your ideal retirement. Not just where you'll live, but how you'll live, how often you'll travel, whether you want to leave a legacy, if you'll work part-time or not at all. That's your blueprint. Once you have it, you can reverse engineer the budget. Because your retirement isn't just a date on the calendar, it's a number. You figure out how much your lifestyle will cost. Multiply it by how long you plan to live. Then adjust for inflation, because yes, your future money won't stretch as far as it does today. Once you have a number, you can start building toward it with purpose. Use tools like a Roth IRA. your employer's 401k, especially if they match, and don't forget health savings accounts if you're eligible. These are not just investment options. They're time machines. They let you plant seeds now that grow while you sleep. Even $200 a month, invested wisely, can turn into hundreds of thousands over 30 years. Start earlier, you win bigger. Start later, then you invest smarter, save aggressively, and cut the waste. But you start, because the worst mistake isn't saving too little. It's not starting at all. And when you start seeing progress, even small wins, it triggers something. Momentum, confidence, hope. You begin to realize that your retirement doesn't have to be a question mark. It can be your most vibrant chapter. You don't have to be wealthy to retire well. You just have to be intentional. So here's your next step, your assignment. Tonight, before you scroll TikTok or crash on the couch, write down your retirement dream. Pick a number, any number, and start aiming. Automate just one small contribution and tell someone about it. A partner, a friend, a community. Accountability turns ideas into action. Because listen, you don't work 40 years just to stress for 20 more. You work to live, and you deserve a retirement that feels like a reward, not a punishment. Let this video be your wake-up call. Let it be the permission you've been waiting for to put yourself first. Because retirement is the longest vacation of your life. The only question is, will it feel like one? Like this video to keep it circulating for those who need it most. And hit subscribe because we're just getting started. So start treating it like it matters. Not tomorrow, not when the kids are grown, not when the debts are paid. Today, every dollar you save is a vote for your freedom. Every budget you create is a brick in your legacy. Every sacrifice now is a luxury later. You're not broke. You're not behind. You're just becoming aware. And awareness is wealth. See you in my next video.